Hello, and welcome to episode 48 of the Mindful Knitter podcast. My name is Claire, and I am your host. It has been over a month since I filmed, maybe close to 2 months, so I am now rusty again, but I'm happy to be back here with you guys. If you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a podcast. It's kind of a traditional sort of vlogcast style for yarny fiber arts things. We talk about knitting, crochet, spinning, yarn dyeing, yarn acquisitions sometimes. I don't have any of those for you today. But just about anything yarny related, we kind of talk about here and there. So if that sounds like your jam, then I hope that you stick around and enjoy. I do have some projects to share with you guys today. I have a whole bunch of knitting, a whole bunch of crochet. I have finished a lot of things since last episode, so I'll be sharing a lot of finished objects with you guys today, and a work in progress. And then I've got a little bit of chat about the Stephen West MKAL that starts tomorrow, Thursday, October 3rd. So I'll chat with you guys a little bit about that as well today. And is there anything else to mention? I don't know at this moment, but we'll get to it. I will remember as we go. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I love hanging out with you guys regularly. So, if you want to connect, I am on social media, and all of the information for that is down in the description below the video. I'm on Instagram as the.mindfulknitter. You can email me at clairethemindfulknitter@gmail.com. And you can connect with me on Ravelry. It is the Mindful Knitter Pod on Ravelry. I'm not super active on Ravelry though, so I will just let you know that all that information, again, is down below the video in the description. And all of the information about yarn dyers, colorways, patterns, designers, that kind of thing, that's all in the description down below the video too. So if you don't catch it when I'm talking about it, you can just click the little button that drops down the menu under the title of the video, and that information is down there for you. I think that's all the introduction stuff. So we'll get into finished objects. First one is what I am wearing. This is the Lace and Fade Boxy by Hailey Locatelli. I did not do the lace part. I definitely did the fade and the boxy. But I did omit the lace. This was a fade set that I got 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And I got it with the intention of knitting a sweater with it. It is a sport weight yarn, so I was just waiting for a sport weight pattern that really appealed to me. This was definitely the lightest gauge sweater that I have ever done. This is on US 4 needles, and it is a sport weight yarn. So this is probably, this may have taken me the longest of any sweater that I've knit, I think, as far as, well, I don't know, I don't want to say that because I actually knit it in like 2 weeks, but that's because I got a little obsessed. Let me find the yarn information for you. I saved all the ball bands this time. So that's not it. Where's the one? It's in here. I found it. Nobody panic. I've got it. I got this yarn, yeah, at a fiber festival a few years ago. It's an indie dyer, Cameo Yarns. Cute little logo. It's a little cameo. It's her Gracious Sport. It's 328 yards and 100 grams, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The colorways that I used, I don't know which one is which. I don't know which one is which, just looking at these. But if you want to check on my Instagram, I am going to be posting this project on my Instagram. So I have all of these colorway names matched with the colors on Instagram. So you can look it up there if you're curious, like which one is which, if you want to look at her shop online. But I got this as a fade kit, and the colors are Titiana, Daring to Dream, In the Glade, and Before Dawn. So it's by Cameo Yarns, and it's really beautiful, obviously, as you can tell. Let me get up on my chair so you can see. I do this every time I wear a sweater. I will eventually come up with a better system, but I don't have one now. So beautiful, beautiful fade, as you can see. I didn't follow any kind of like pattern for a fade per Hohi in the pattern, because she has sections of color and then a lace panel and then another color and then a lace panel, and that's how she does her fade. But what I did to fade my colors really nicely, one, it helps if it's a variegated or speckled tone. They do tend to kind of blend a little bit more since they're already kind of like a blendy, painterly kind of colorway to begin with. But what I do to get a really good like gradual fade without an obvious line in the back, you can tell as well. How I do that is I do, when I'm starting my next color, I do 1 row of the new color, 2 of the old one, then 1 row each of old and new color, and then 2 rows of the new color, 1 row of the old color, and then I go into the new color all the way, and then I just repeat that. So it's like, this is color A and this is color B. Then we'd say it's B, A, B, A, B, B, A, B, all the way through. So that's how I do my fades. And I think it tends to work really well as far as creating like a nice smooth transition without like a very obvious kind of like, you know, one color and then immediately you go into the next color. Some people just do like alternate a couple rows, like A, B, A, B, A, B, and then they just go into B. But I find that gradual shift just like, I don't know, like works really nicely. So I like that. I knit the size 2 for this pattern. For my like bust measurements, her recommended size would have been a size 3, but I didn't want that much negative ease or positive ease. And I did modify a little bit. So the body, you know, width wise is a size 2. So I cast on for a size 2, but when I was, it's knit as a, oh goodness, what's it called? Drop shoulder. So you can see here that the sweater comes all the way to here, and then you pick up the stitches for this fitted sleeve. So this is a drop shoulder. So when I was on this part of, you knit it top down. So you do like your shaping for your neckline, and then you are doing your length for your arm, and then you join in the round to knit the body. So when I was doing this part for just the arm, I did the measurements for the size 3 because I knew that my arms were going to need more than what the size 2 was recommending, because I don't have tiny arms. So I just knew that I was going to want more space here so I could pick up more stitches, so I'd have a bigger circumference for my arm. So I did a size 3 for this part as far as length, so then I could pick up the number of stitches for the size 3 so I could knit size 3 sleeves. But the body of the sweater is a size 2 because this is plenty of positive ease for me. I didn't really want or need more than this. Yeah, and I just adore this fade. I think it's beautiful. I'll show you Hohi's pattern on Ravelry if you would like to see that. So this is the Lace and Fade Boxy on Ravelry by Hohi Locatelli. And you can see that normally it does have these really beautiful lace panels, but I did omit those. It's knit on a US 4 needle, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and it does use a sport weight yarn. If you haven't seen this, you likely have, but if you haven't, that's what it does look like with the lace panels, so it's beautiful. Yeah, and I found it easy to just do it without the lace panels. I did the length the same as she recommends in the pattern with the lace panels, and it worked out great. I did actually crop mine slightly. I did knit mine just a little shorter than, like an inch or two shorter than what she says to do in the pattern. So I'm short-waisted though, so you can see it kind of hits. It hits me nicely. It hits right before that like curve in the back, and it's like right above my hips. So that's where I like it to hit. Hooray for knitting your own sweaters or crocheting your own sweaters so you can make them fit you however you want. I'm not sure how I feel about this necklace with this. I don't know. I was wearing this with something else earlier and I just left it on. Whatever. So this is my Lace and Fade Boxy by Hailey Locatelli. I knit it in 2 weeks because I was doing a whole bunch of continuing education stuff for work. I have a license that I need to keep up, so every couple years we do continuing education so that we keep our license current. And I, I needed something to do with my hands while I was doing a lot of continuing education hours. So this got knit while I was working on continuing education stuff and on phone calls and in the evening and just basically whenever I could work on it. I did get a little obsessed with it because the colors are completely amazing. So yay! I'm very excited with my Lace and Fade Boxy. I'm gonna wear this all the time. I thought it was gonna be a labor of love, but it really was a joyful project to make. So I'm really excited about it. I could probably talk about it for forever, but I've covered all of the important stuff. So I'll share with you my next finished object. So you might be familiar with the Pressed Flowers patterns by Amy Christoffers. I've been wanting to knit one of her Pressed Flowers patterns for forever, basically since they started coming out. I've been wanting to knit them. So she has a Pressed Flowers hat, and I was thinking that's accessible. It's a small enough item that I feel like it's not daunting to try a new technique because it does use mosaic knitting, and I've never knit mosaic knitting before. So I did learn a new knitting technique while I was doing this, which was super fun. This is the Pressed Flowers hat by Amy Christoffers. So cute. Her pattern uses a sport weight, but I used a DK because that's what I had, and DK is pretty close to sport. It's a US 3 and a US 5 needle. The 3 is for the ribbing. The US 5 is for the body of the hat. US 5 is a 3.75 millimeter. And it's one size. So you don't have to like guess which size is going to be fitting you. You just did one size. I don't have the yarn anymore, or the ball bands for what I used, so I'm sorry about that. But this is my Pressed Flowers hat, and I absolutely adore it. I think it's really sweet. I'm so happy with it. I'll try it on for you. Probably mess up my hair, but that's fine. I don't really know what my hair is doing right now anyway, so it doesn't really super matter. Yeah, so it's cute. It does have a lot of slouch to it, so I'll figure that out. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't know how I feel about the slouch. It's very slouchy. I might wear it like farther back. We'll see. But it's very cute, I think. I love the colors. Yeah, I think it's very cute. And again, there are those yarns. I used like a lightly variegated yarn for my flowers. And I think it's so sweet. I want to knit like 5 of these. I need to clip my ends. I did weave in my ends and block it, but I haven't snipped the little ends yet. Sorry. But I just love this, and it does make me want to knit like the whole sweater because she does have a Pressed Flower sweater. I don't love doing color work flat, so I don't know like as far as stranded color work, but maybe I wouldn't mind doing mosaic flat. I'm not sure. So that's what my hesitation is around the shawl. But she did just release a bandana pattern that's free through Hobie Yarn. I do think it's pronounced Hobie. I don't think it's pronounced Hobby because it's a, is it Dutch? Can't remember, but I think it is pronounced Hobie Yarn. But in any case, there's a pressed flowers, I think kerchief is the pattern. And so it's knit flat, but it's smaller than the shawl. I might give that a go and see if I like knitting mosaic flat. We'll find out. Actually, I might be finding out if I like knitting mosaic flat anyway because of a different project, which I'll talk about in just a few minutes. So those are my two finished objects as far as like personal items. I do have some more finished objects that I'll share with you guys briefly because I am vending at a market in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, like 2.5 weeks. And so there's a music festival happening fairly locally, and one of the people who like helps run the festival, like they knew about me and they asked me if I would vend at the festival. And I was like, oh, that'd be great. Like, so I looked into the festival and it looks great. So I told them, yes, thank you so much for inviting me. And I'm going to be selling crochet items, knit items, one of my patterns, hand spun yarn, hand dyed yarn, and maybe a couple other like random kind of crafty things. But yeah, so that's really exciting. So in 2 weeks, I'm going to be vending at a music festival. It's going to have all kinds of like crafty people and artisans and things vending there. So super exciting. So one thing that I am going to be selling is scrunchies. I've never crocheted scrunchies before, but these are actually really fun. And they're cute. I haven't woven in the ends yet, but they're cute. There are a million scrunchie patterns on Ravelry, on YouTube, all over the place. This one has more ruffles. This one has less ruffles. I think I'm going to do both options for people. And I'm going to do a variety of colors and things. Might do some that have contrast colors, etc. But this like really cute little rainbowy tweed is a Lion Brand yarn. It's the Heartland Tweed yarn. This colorway is called Mount Rainier. I think that's the, yeah, Mount Rainier Tweed. Yeah, so I think I got this at like Joann's. So I'm gonna be making a bunch of scrunchies. I have 30 little hair tie things. So hopefully I'm making 30 scrunchies and we'll see how that goes. So I'm making a bunch of those. I crocheted, I haven't woven the ends in for any of this, so I apologize. Just throwing things on the table over there. But I crocheted a couple of granny stitch shawls. These are just triangle granny stitch shawls. I didn't really use a particular pattern for this. I just have done a lot of granny stitch at this point, a lot of granny squares and a lot of granny triangle things, and so like I just kind of did it. I didn't really use a pattern, so sorry I don't have a pattern to give you, but again, there are tons of patterns for this kind of thing on Ravelry. A lot of them are free. So we've got this guy in this color, and I wish I had the ball bands to show you, but these are actually colors that I got like last year for a different market I was vending at, and I never used these colors. I never used the yarn, so I just had it in stash, so I, you know, cast on and used it for this. But it's just one of those like ombre colors. I think this is maybe like a Bernat yarn, and it's just one of their like ombre ones that works really well for this. Yeah, so I got this one, and I've got this one, and these crochet up fast. So I think these are cute. I thought about putting little tassels on them, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna leave them tassel free. Yeah. Also don't know what's going on with my hair. I got my hair cut yesterday, and so like I'm not really exactly sure what's happening with it yet, but I'll figure it out. Yeah, so I've got these. I've also got quite a lot of other inventory that I don't have to show you guys. This is just the stuff that I've made since the last podcast, but I do have other inventory from like previous shows that hasn't sold yet. So I've got more in stock than what I'm showing you. I've knit some hats. This is my pattern, and I do think I'm going to try to get this published on Ravelry in the next few weeks because this is a great gift knit. Super fast. This is called my bulky acorn hat, and it uses I use the Line Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick, so it's a really bulky yarn. I knit this on, I think I use a size 13, US 13 needle, which is 9 millimeters. You'd think I would know since I wrote the pattern, but here we are. But I do think I use a size 13, US 13 needle. So this knits up quick. I can knit these in under 2 hours. I think it's more like an hour and a half at this point because I've knit so many of them now. I do use DPNs for the crown of the head or the hat. So like there's that, like you probably need DPNs for that, but I don't know what hat you wouldn't need DPNs for. Or maybe you use magic loop, but if you knit hats, you have a method for doing the crown decreases. So anyway, this is my bulky acorn hat, which I really like, and it was pretty popular last year at the markets that I was vending at. So it looks basically good on everybody, men and women. It's just one size. It fits basically everybody's head. You can make this top point pointier or rounder depending on your preference. It's just a really cute basic little beanie pattern, and I think it's cute on like everyone. You can like wear it back as well if you like that look. Yeah, and it's got a little slouch to it. If you want more slouch, just do more increases or sorry, do more rows. I have options for creating for doing like a seed stitch brim to make it look more like an acorn. Yeah, so it's just a cute hat. Not too complicated. It's a great first hat pattern. And yeah, so this is my bulky acorn hat. I'll be putting that up on Ravelry soon. I've also got this color. And then I knit up this guy. I need to weave in the ends on this guy. Yeah. So it's super cute. I did some striped ones of this last year, and those were really popular. Everybody really liked the striped ones. So I'll probably do some striped ones this year as well. So those are my items that I made for the craft vending. It's a music festival. It's not a craft fair. Those are the things I made for the music festival. I'm excited about it. I haven't vended in, almost a year. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so I finished this. I finished the hat, finished those other items, and I have a work in progress to share with you guys. So this is a knitting project, and I am just so excited about this. I was a little worried I wouldn't be as excited about this as I was about this, but no fear. I am just as excited about this sweater. It is another sweater, but this is a yoke, like a circular yoke sweater. And I have knit this pattern now. This is my 4th time knitting this pattern. If you've been watching for a while, you might be able to guess which one it is. It is the Mousseux by Espace Tricot. Yeah, I have knit this now 4 times, but I just love this pattern. It's just such a great basic circular yoke sweater. You can use a lot of different weights of yarn. They use lace and lace held together to make a fingering weight, but I have used worsted and DK. Yeah, I've used light DK. So you can use a lot of different weights with this. It's knit on size US 8 needles. So 5mm needles. It goes pretty quick. Super versatile. The only thing is, I got this pattern when it was free. It's not free anymore. So they may have updated it and changed the sizes and things. I don't know, but I will let you know that I have the free version, and with the free version, I knit a size 1 because it's very oversized in that version. And I don't want it to fit super oversized. I want it to fit like kind of my regular, the way my regular sweaters would fit me. So not fitted, but kind of like loose and roomy, not boxy like this, but just, you know, loose and roomy. So I knit a size 1. So I will, you know, let you know that. And typically I knit a size 3 in most patterns. I'm going to show it to you. What I did was last year got the whole fall collection from Sewrella yarn, which is a 15 color tonal, like semi-solid tonal collection. And I think it's the same every year. They might tweak it just a little bit, but it's basically the same every year. So they do have the fall colors out right now. And so I got that last year. I got all the minis in fingering weight. I held all of those fingering weight minis double to make a striped sweater. And that's what I bought that yarn for last year. And this year I did it. And oh my gosh, I'm now on the ribbing, so we're almost done with the body. And you guys, look at this. I don't know if you can like tell how glorious these colors are, because I don't know if the color is showing great right now because my lighting is not wonderful because I'm filming too late in the day. Let's look at this in different lights. So we've got this with more of like a blue light. That might be truer to the real color. This is more of a neutral light. That's pretty close. Yeah, okay. Actually, I think this lighting is better now. I had it more warm earlier because the lighting outside was really kind of bluish, but oh my goodness. It's amazing. So this is glorious and I am obsessed with it. It makes me want to go to a library immediately and wear it and read all of the books and drink all of the tea. I just think it's perfect. The ribbing I am doing in Sewrella's, I think it's autumn in New York, I think is the colorway, or maybe it's fall in New York, but I'm pretty sure it's autumn in New York. And it is a variegated color. It's beautiful. Oh, it's like a gorgeous yarn. But with those stripes, I didn't have quite enough length on the body, so I decided to do my brim, or not my brim, my hem in this autumn in New York colorway, and I will do it on the cuffs of the sleeves as well. So I'll use all of these colors in my sleeves, and then I'll do my cuffs in this autumn in New York color. I think that I'm gonna do the neckline. I think I'm gonna do the collar in this like golden color, I think, just to kind of keep that, I think, cohesive looking. I don't think that I want to add another color up there. I think I want to just keep it in this gold. So I'll do a 2x2 rib here. So that is a modification I'm making in the pattern. In the pattern, it's an I-cord for the hems and the edges of everything, but I'm doing 2x2 rib instead. So I'm not doing any decreases for the hem. I'm just doing a 2x2 rib. And I'm doing like I'm kind of making all this up as I go as far as like how like wide all this stuff is, because I'm just going by I'm weighing my yarn, and then I'm going kind of like based on sight and what I'm kind of guessing that I want as far as how long I want it to be. It's going to be a little cropped, but not super cropped. Well, it's going to be fairly cropped, but it's not going to be like super, it's not going to be super cropped, just like above my hips. So I think I'll do a little bit more on this hem just to bring it down just like a little bit more. Yeah, it's almost long enough, I think. But I am just so happy with this. I think it's completely gorgeous. I don't think it's showing up on screen as beautifully as it does in person, but this is amazing. I'm just gonna wear this all the time. I'm gonna wear this all the time. I'm gonna wear this all the time. Sweater weather. Huh. What a time to be alive. So I'm very excited about this. I'm probably gonna finish this week, and it's gonna be ready for all of my fall activities. I'm gonna wear it constantly. Yeah, and the yarn feels just beautiful. Sewrella just has a wonderful yarn base, and they do a great dye job. They're so talented with their colors, but they're very particular about their yarn bases too. So this is, I think it's a 2-ply fingering weight yarn, and it's just beautiful. It's kind of silky, gorgeous yarn. It feels wonderful to work with, and it's going to feel amazing to wear. It's got a beautiful drape. It's just amazing. So I don't know how it got so silky, because I think it's just a merino and nylon blend, but it's got almost like a sheen to it. It's gorgeous. So that is my current WIP, my current work in progress. And so now I'll share some plans for upcoming projects with you guys. What I am thinking about doing, actually I've decided that I'm doing this, so you guys are welcome to join me. Last year during the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, last year it was I just looked at it this morning. What was it last year? Geo Gradient. Last year he did the Geo Gradient Mystery Knit Along. This year he's doing the Go Go Dynamo Mystery Knit Along, which looks really fun. Last year, instead of participating in the knit along itself and knitting the Geo Gradient shawl, I hosted a spectator make along. For all of us who really love the MKAL season, and we love Stephen West, and we love the excitement of seeing everybody's projects and seeing the clues get released every week, and just the general fun of Mystery Knit Along season in October with Stephen West. This is a make along for all of us who love that, but don't necessarily want to knit the mystery shawl, either because of time commitments or not wanting to buy the yarn for that, or not really loving, the mystery of it, because, for a lot of us, like, we want to know what the finished project or what the finished product is going to look like before we make it. Sometimes it doesn't matter, and it's fun to do the mystery, but sometimes if you're going to spend all that time and energy and money on it, you want to know what you're making before you make it. So this is a make along for all of us who feel those things, and for anybody who's making the Go Go Dynamo shawl. It's the spectator make along. So you're welcome to join us. We've got a group on Instagram, like a group chat, and we share our projects with each other, or we just chat. I'm going to have a couple of Zoom calls for us to have kind of like a knit night or make along night with each other. The dates for those are down below the video in the description. One's in October, and then I think the other one is like the very first week of November. I think it might be like November 4th, maybe. I'm not sure, but one of them's like, halfway through the make along or MKAL, and the other one is like right at like the week after it kind of like ends, so that we can check in with each other about our projects. We can talk about the MKAL, all of that kind of stuff. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It was a lot of fun last year. And a lot of us make Stephen West patterns when we're doing this, but you don't have to. You can crochet, you can do anything you want, or you can be knitting the Go Go Dynamo shawl. Yeah, we're just spectating. We're just watching and enjoying and absorbing the MKAL fun, but we're not necessarily knitting the mystery shawl for this year. If you want to knit the Geo Gradient shawl from last year because you didn't get to, but you think it'd be fun to do it with us as a group this year, even if we're not knitting it, then welcome. So we're gonna have our, again, group chat on Instagram, so you can message me on Instagram if you want to join that group. And then you can also let me know if you want to get the link for those Zoom calls in October and the beginning of November. It's going to be fun. So what I'm going to be doing for the Spectator MKAL this year, or the Spectator MAL, I guess, the Spectator Michael is I'm going to be doing a Stephen West pattern, and I'm pretty sure the one that I'm going to be doing is the Winter Lights Shawl. This is a pattern I already have in my library. I'm just pulling yarn from Stash for it. It's beautiful. I think it was in one of his Hyper Knitting collections. So this is the Winter Lights Shawl by Stephen West. I'll show you a better picture of it. Sorry, you can see the ring light in the reflection. Yeah, so it's beautiful. It's a fingering weight shawl. It uses 4 colors, 1 main color and 3 contrast colors. It's knit on a US 4 3.5 millimeter needle, fingering weight yarn. I love a semicircular shawl. It's one of my favorite. I think it is my favorite like shape to wear. I like a asymmetrical triangle shawl as well, but I love a semicircular shawl. I think it just lays really nicely and it's kind of easy to style. Yeah, so this I think is what I'm gonna do. I might change my mind, but my plan is to cast this on tomorrow morning and watch the MKAL videos. So here are the yarns that I think I'm gonna use for this. I think I'm gonna use this guy as my main color. And again, these are pulled from Stash, so I don't have any of the information. Not only are they pulled from Stash, but they've already been wound up and used for other things. So, but this is a merino and silk blend, and it is a variegated yarn. It is beautiful. I might be using this guy, maybe this guy, maybe this guy. This one I actually dyed using Kool-Aid, so it's kind of cute. I had thought about using these 3 with this, but I think that these colors are too similar, so I don't think that they're going to show. I think they're too similar, so I don't think that they're going to show that nice. The color work is going to be a little like something will be lost in translation, because especially these 2 are really, really close in colors. So what I might do is swap one of them out for this guy. So like I might do like that with this maybe, or I might do like this. I'm not sure yet. And I might choose just different colors entirely. But this is kind of where I'm landing, and I do think that I like this more. I kind of think I'm leaning towards this, because these 2 are very distinct from each other. So I think that would provide me with 3 good contrast colors for this main color. So we'll see. And I am using a little less yarn than what the pattern calls for, because I am not planning to do all of the little ripply edge repeats. Like as you can see, he repeats that rippled edge twice. He goes through all the colors twice with it. I think I'm just going to do it once. So I'll use less yarn. And he does show on here his contrast colors. The main color is 380 yards, so that's fine. I have basically a full skein. Contrast color 3 is 350 yards. I do have a full skein of that, so that should be fine. And then both contrast colors are like 280, 260 yards. And I have about 50 grams of a fingering weight, so I'll be fine, especially since I'm not repeating that rippled border as many times as he is. So I'll be saving yardage on that. Because I don't love a rippled border, but I do like it, I think, one time through for this pattern. So I think that'll be fun. So that's my plan for the Spectator Make Along this year, is to do the Winter Lights shawl by Stephen West. Last year I did the Dotted Rays shawl by Stephen West during the Spectator Make Along, and it was so much fun. It was really satisfying. And I wear that shawl all the time. So I think this is probably a shawl I'm going to wear too. I don't think right now that I do have a blue shawl, but it's a crocheted lace shawl, and it's gorgeous. It really is beautiful. But I don't end up wearing it tons, partially because it's so big, because I I crocheted it pretty big. I did a lot of repeats. So there's just a lot of shawl on me, and I don't love feeling like my shawl is eating me. So this one I'm making a little smaller, so I think it'll be a little more accessible. Plus it's got those neutral tones in it, and whereas the other shawl is just like faded blues. So I think it helps that this has some neutral in it. I'm more likely, I think, to wear the blue and neutral mix. Worst case scenario, if it's not something that I'll wear, I think it's something my mom would wear. So it might turn into a Christmas present for my mom if I finish it and I'm like, I don't know how much I'm going to use this. Convenient gift. I think I'll have a lot of fun making it. It does use mosaic knitting technique for that color work section in the middle with the honeycombs, I think. It might use slip stitches for other things too. So, well, I'm not sure. I know he mentions slip stitches in there, so I don't think it's stranded color work. I think it's mosaic, which sounds more appealing to me than stranded color work. I really liked the mosaic knitting in the pressed flowers hat, and stranded color work is okay. It is not my very favorite technique, but I'll do it sometimes. It can be fun for variety sometimes, but I really genuinely enjoyed the mosaic knitting. So if this is slip stitch color work, if it's mosaic, then hooray. I'm interested to see how I'll enjoy it doing it flat versus in the round, because typically for stranded color work, I don't like doing stranded color work flat. I just don't. So it's fine in the round, but not a fan flat. So we're gonna see how it goes with the mosaic. I imagine it'll be a little easier or more enjoyable for me, since you're only working with one color at a time. You're not carrying the yarn and making those strands. So we'll see. There are no floats, which is nice. So that's my plan. If you want to join, please do, and you're welcome to join at any time. You don't have to join the first day of the Go-Go Dynamo MKAL. You can join at any time during the month of October. So I hope to see you there in the group chat and on our Zoom knit nights, craft nights, because you can crochet or do whatever you want. You don't have to knit. Yeah, I hope to see you there. It was so much fun last year, and one of the things I love about MKAL season is the community. So it's just, the more the merrier. It's so much more fun for me if there are friends to craft with. I think that might be it for today. I'm gonna go work on my stripy sweater some more so that I get more of it done before I cast on this whole other project in the morning, because I'm gonna watch Stephen West's video that he releases in the morning, plus probably a whole bunch of his other videos, because that's what I like to do during MKAL season, is I just kind of binge watch Stephen West for the month of October. I watch, other things and listen to audiobooks, but I do a lot of Stephen West during October. October is Stephen West month for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I want to get more of my sweater finished. And I am making a bunch of stuff for the music festival in 2 weeks. So I'm going to have that on my plate too. So I may or may not finish this shawl in October. That's fine. I don't feel any pressure to finish it. That's one of the reasons that I like doing the Spectator make along, is because there's never pressure to finish the mystery shawl during the mystery knit along. Stephen never puts pressure on people for that. He's always really good, I think, about saying embrace your pace. But I think it's just easier to embrace your own pace when you're not making the shawl that is having clues released every week, because it's not like you're keeping up with a clue every week. So I think that it's a little easier to kind of like give yourself that flexibility of time to take as long as you want or need to finish your project. So I don't have any set plans to finish this shawl this month. It might take me longer, which is fine. I don't mind. It's just for fun. Because I have other crafting I need to be doing for the festival. And then I've got, you know, holiday crafting coming up too for making gifts for people. Okay, I'm actually done now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or week. I will talk with you guys again soon. Happy crafting. Bye.